Hello world, welcome back to Let's Talk Barca Special Edition number 4. And Happy New Year everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Three Kings and everything else. So for me, we haven't done this in a while, so I'm going to do a special edition before we get back into the new season. So just the idea, there's been a lot of things happening in the start of the new year. Once again, I think that we see the exact same things in the team, irregardless of the coach, because what we saw under Koeman was a flaw of the players that we had in the team, irregardless of it. So to get the best out of our team, we have to go to 3 at the back because we don't have two good enough center backs that can defend when the wing backs go up. So we have to go to 3 at the back to cover for that weak one, right? So we have 2 weak ones that make up to a whole. Araujo's really our only good enough center back that can play, right? So that's always going to be a problem. So the difference was whenever Koeman tried, we tore him down. Whenever he tried to go 3 at the back, there was many times he tried to do it. You could see I tried to post and tell everybody that he was trying to do the 3 at the back. But Xavi was able to come in and go 3 at the back. Now it's just that once again, we ran into the same problem. As Xavi starts to get going, Araujo gets injured again. You know what I mean? So we end up with the same problem where we can't just get the 3 guys that we need on the pitch and get a good, strong run to see what the 3 at the back really looks like for us. If you take that into consideration, you start to see why the team is the way it is and why we perform. It looks like Xavi doesn't have any faith in Dest, and I don't know why. Dest is young. I see potential in him, but for whatever reason, he doesn't seem to trust him. Now, I've also noticed, especially in the last game when Dani Alves played, and once again, it's great to see Dani Alves back. Never thought he should have left in the first place, but it's glad to see him come back. But it's kind of strange because we're playing 5 at the back, so we're really playing 5 at the back with 3 center backs, and then we're using especially Dani Alves more of as like another holder. So it's almost like Dani Alves and Sergio Busquets are holding, but Dani, what it does is he's like a straight out destroyer. So he's got like a free role in like the right holding midfielder / right back, wing back type of position. So it's sort of a strange role that Xavi has introduced. I got to really go back and look at the old Barcelona footage again from the Dream Team, but because I do know that was part of the philosophy, but I've never really seen it playing the way Dani Alves is playing it. So that's an interesting look, and I'm wondering, do we really need to sell Des, or do we, because it's such a tactical change, do we just really need him to watch how Dani Alves plays the position, and then he just learns it from Dani Alves, as opposed to getting rid of a 20-year-old. Like, keep him, let Dani Alves continue to master the role because he has the ability, and while he's mastering it, that's a great person to teach Des. So in the next year and a half, Des will learn how to properly play that role, and his game and his skill set would improve 100-fold if he gets another 6 months working with Dani Alves, right? So, like I said, I'm glad to see Dani Alves come back. Strange to see that formation. I'm not going to judge it yet. Don't have enough time to actually really statistically judge it. We haven't played enough competition in that formation, but it's interesting to see, and I'm going to be interested in looking forward to it, and then as we get into our midfield now, so we get into our midfield, it's clear to see that we've got plethora. That's why, these rumors of us going after, other midfielders doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we've got Gavi, Nico, Pedri's still coming back. We're still playing Busquets. We've got Frankie de Jong who needs minutes. Once again, I just don't think Ricky Puig is really up to it. I'm being honest with you guys. He just doesn't. It's just not good enough. I want to see more of the Sands kid. I would like to see more of him, give him an opportunity more than Ricky Puig at this moment. Right now I'm thinking Ricky Puig has to be sold, and we got to see what these other kids can bring, because Ricky Puig is one of the oldest players on that team. And he doesn't really do anything when he wins. Like, the reason we gave up that last goal in that last game is because Ricky Puig, also Jordi Alba, I can't not say, but they didn't close down the ball. That's one of the first things. You got to prevent the cross in any sport. I don't care what sport it is. There's no team sport. Hockey, basketball, there's none of them. There's no team sport, right? Where any coach is going to tell you to let someone in, let someone send the ball, give them the time, space to send in a dangerous cross, pass, whatever you want to call it. Anything. Like, you just can't do that. You have to close down the ball. And he just strolled along the way. He didn't even go towards a player. He just ran away from the ball. This is something that Gavi would never do, right? This is why Gavi plays. This is why Pedri plays. These are why Nico plays, right? And they're all younger than Ricky Puig. So if these guys are 5 years younger than Ricky Puig and they understand that already, and Ricky Puig still hasn't learned that, come on, guys. We have to give up the favoritism thing and just go with the guys who, who are performing. Like, forget favoritism, guys. Like, it's about performance. Like, I like Umtiti, but the honest fact of the matter is he hasn't performed the last 2 years. I want us to keep Umtiti, but if we sell him, like, I think Umtiti's better than Longley. But guess what? We can't let your love or your thing. You can still support Ricky Puig if he goes to another team. Like, it doesn't mean that you can never, like, oh, I still like Ricky Puig. You could still like him, but he's just not good enough for Barcelona, guys. And so continuing with the guys that are needing to leave and have to go, we know that Coutinho's gone and we know that Cuadrado's gone. So, I wish them well. Like, that's another guy, I really, 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 really wanted it to work for Coutinho. If you go back and listen to a couple of my earlier videos, like, that's a guy I really wanted it to work. I wanted him to fit into that Iniesta type position. But, these kids came in and they've all played him. They've all performed him. Like, Gavi came in, Pedri came in, and they, like, I prefer, like, I've always liked Coutinho. I've liked Coutinho before I even knew of Gavi. Right? So I wanted to see Coutinho succeed, but Gavi came in and it's just like, yo, I got to respect what this kid is doing, because what he does is more impactful for the team that I call my team than what Coutinho does. Now, like I said, I wish Coutinho the best. I hope he does get to, restore his career. Hope he gets to England and he just starts banging in the goals. So, like I said, wish Coutinho the best. Same as Cuadrado. I hope he does well. But I wish Alex Cuadrado well as well on his loan spell to Granada. Hopefully he can get going and get some playing time. That'd be good for him. All right, and with the midfield, like I said, our midfield is starting to look even better now. As we're gonna start to get these guys in. I'm really excited to see what the midfield of Pedri, Gavi, and Frankie de Jong looks like. Like, I'm really excited to see that, because I believe that could be a front, that could be our midfield three in the future going forward. And then we still would have Nico coming off the bench or replacing one of those guys depending on the matchup. So, we could sit Pedri for a game and then we play with a double pivot, or we play Nico in that position, or we could sit Gavi or Frankie de Jong, anyone. We could be intertwining and changing these guys, and they can all play all three positions. So that's absolutely amazing, right? So we've got four young, good, skilled midfielders, and we just got to keep them together and hope that they continue to grow. We're going to look at our attacking front now. Oh, man, I think our attacking front as is, especially with Fran Torres coming in. If we sign Dembele, I'm happy. I don't really think we need anybody else this year for our front three. I think next year we can get rid of, next year we can get rid of Brathwaite. You can maybe, if Memphis, you can sell Memphis on if we're going to bring in a guy like Holland or something like that, bring in maybe another player here or there. But I think right now for what we're trying to do, what we need to accomplish, win the Europa League, get to, number 2, number 3 position in our league, win the Super Cup, the Copa del Rey, win all these, just win these things. This team that we have with the attacking players we have is good enough. On the left, our starter should be back shortly, which will be Fati. Fati as our striker, we already know what Fati is as a striker, right? Especially coming from the left, where he gets to go onto his right foot. If we keep Dembele, that means that we have Dembele on the right. Fran Torres becomes our striker, our false 9. Now, what it also does is that in days in which you can rotate, because all of them are injury prone, but Memphis Depay, and when we get back Brathwaite, those guys are intertwined, and as well as Abde, right? So we still have Abde, right? And so they're able now and even Ilya, they can fit in every so often and intertwine enough so we could rest guys but still keep guys, dangerous players on the pitch. And even with Juggler coming as a number 9, that's even better for us. Now with Juggler coming as a number 9, we still have a young, good number 9. And I really do like this kid, Fran Juggler. And the reason I like him is that he's able to hold the ball up with a quick one-touch pass, something that Memphis Depay has struggled to do. Memphis Depay as a 9 takes too many touches. But this guy comes in and he does just right. We have a very good young team. Just look at the players I've mentioned. None of them are over the age of 28 years old, guys. Nobody I mentioned in terms of the young guys over 28. And we still have Balde coming up, and we still have the opportunity to maybe. So, like, for the rest of this actual winter, the only player I want to see coming in is a left-footed center back. We can get out everybody else, but only a left-footed center back coming in. All right, guys. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and subscribing. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, share a thought. All right. This is for those who know, you know. If you don't know, you just don't know. Peace.